Hey everyone, welcome back to What Everyone Should Know About Health. Today I'm talking again with my good friend Dr. Elizabeth Hughes, and the two subjects we want to talk to people about today is two of the most important subjects that we feel, which is the effects of stress on you and how you can manage that stress, which of all the other skills that Dr. Elizabeth has, this just happens to be a forte. I will obviously throw in a little bit about how the subconscious mind works, and hopefully these two subjects will help people enormously. So good morning, Elizabeth, and straight over to you to have a chat about stress management.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, I think whenever I talk to people about stress, I say sort of two things. The first is that stress may be common. It may be something that we think is normal or that we need. It's part of our success, but it's not. And every time you are feeling that feeling of stress, you are actually weakening your own body in a variety of ways, especially the immune system, but it also alters how your body heals wounds, how your body, uh, has metabolism, how it digests food, how it processes sugar. Everything in your body is altered by that feeling of stress. And it doesn't take much to the body is supposed to respond very quickly to that feeling. That's what it does. So stress is not it is not neutral. It's not good. It isn't something that people should be feeling, or when you do, you should recognize the damage it's doing. And the second thing, along the same lines, when people say, I want to manage stress, I tell them don't try to manage stress, which is a little bit backwards, I know. We manage things that we want to maximize or that we think are unavoidable. So you want to manage your money, you want to manage your, if you're in business, you might want to manage personnel or inventory, things that you want to manage time, things that you have that you want to make the most of. By managing stress as a goal, it means that stress still has a role in your life. Now, you may have to start your journey with the idea of managing it, but don't think that's the end. The goal is to neutralize it, eliminate it, so that that constant feeling of stress is not there. And then all those stressful feeling events like, the bad boss or the horrible commute or whatever it is that could cause stress, that becomes something that you can handle. But so stress shouldn't be managed, and it's not normal. And Glenn, do you have anything else you want me to expand on here?
No, I think again, I know that you've offered to do almost a stress management video to help people how to deal with their particular stress during this crisis. But this is going to sound very strange to people. What you're really saying is you need to trick yourself. We know that laughter is the best medicine, and there is nothing worse than trying to say to someone that's ill or that they're worrying or going through a crisis to say, don't worry about it. What you need to do is have a laugh and a joke, but you actually do.
Yes.
What we're truly saying here is that, leave the worrying and the sorting out to the experts. And I'm not just talking about medical experts, politicians, etc., etc., etc. The best thing you can do right now is go about your day as normal as you can. I've said this many times before. Choose movies which will make you laugh rather than dark dystopian movies. During this particular time of worry and concern, have a laugh, have a joke, watch a comedy show, try and go about your life as normal. I think that brings me on to, I think this is my favorite subject, the way that the mind works. And if I could just say a little bit about the subconscious mind, it's something that most people don't think about. For most of you, I'm sure you've already heard of the difference between a conscious and a subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is what it helps you to make a decision. Do I turn left at the end of the road or do I turn right? Am I going to do this or am I going to do the other? Most things will happen in a natural way anyway. You will breathe and you will walk. You're conditioned to do so, but your conscious mind is really your conscious decision of what you're going to do. The most important part of your mind is your subconscious mind, because when you go to sleep in the evening, your subconscious mind doesn't go to sleep. That's the reason why if you say to yourself, I'm going to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you will wake up because you've talked to your subconscious mind. You've told it what you want to do. So while you're sleeping, it's there. So here's something that I'd like all our viewers to think about. It might help them with where they are today, what their belief system is today, and the things that they go about doing in their normal way, on how their subconscious mind has already been programmed. So if we go really sort of right back to the very beginning, when a child is born, I mean, you can go back before that. What does a child hear when it's in its mother's womb? But when a child is born, everything that it hears, once it's actually out and about and getting about on its normal daily life, which is not a great deal in the first early years, probably in a cot or a pram, is the subconscious mind is listening to its parents. It's listening to friends and family and associates. It then develops on to listen to school teachers, to the medical profession, to the press and to the media, to politicians. So pretty much, I don't want to get into anything too much depth today about free will, but people really need to give that some serious consideration. What have you actually heard during the course of your life so far? And how can you in the short term change anything to have you thinking in a positive manner? And the two things that I think people should practice are a level of gratitude and almost a vision of how you would like to see yourself. So maybe people should start by doing a little bit of practice in this area. Towards the end of the day, maybe take some time out before you actually retire and say to yourself, what am I grateful for today? It could be a walk in the fresh air, clean organic food, nice, fresh, cool, filtered water. It could be anything that you're grateful for today. Why should you do that? Because your subconscious mind is listening. So instead of thinking about all the things that you've worried about today, or that's upset you, or that may be stressing you tomorrow, maybe look at just being grateful for some of the happiness and pleasure that you've had today. And then secondly, and more importantly, visualize what you're going to do tomorrow and the person you want to be tomorrow. Now, this is a massive subject. You know, you and I work with people on this basis to say to them, this is who you are today. Who do you want to be tomorrow? This is the stress you suffered today, but take some gratitude from that. So again, we're going to do a stress management course and really how the mind works in some great detail in future videos. But in conclusion for today then, and people might say that that's easier said than done, but it's of our opinion that you should simply be getting on with your life and maybe making the most of this very surreal global quiet time. So for now, please just get outdoors as much as you possibly can.
Go play somewhere.
Yep. So again, I think let's keep it at that just for today, Elizabeth. The next conversation we're going to be talking about now is things like the questions that people are asking. What is the cytokine storm? They've heard on the news and the media, and particularly in your neck of the woods, the other side of the pond, about Donald Trump talking about hydroxychloroquine. I still can't say that. And adding to that zinc, etc. People want to know about death certification. You know, is everything a COVID-19 crisis? You know, sort of someone gets killed at the end of the road in a car crash and on the death certificate it's COVID-19. You know, sort of I say that tongue-in-cheek and jovially, but people do have concerns. Herd immunity, social distancing, plenty more to talk about. And in our next video, I'd like people to take a look at some facts and figures. Honest facts and figures. There's a very close friend of mine who's worked tirelessly to produce them. So let's cover that in the next video. So call it a day for today then, Elizabeth, and see you in the next one.
Yes.
Take care. Thanks again. Bye-bye now.